Hi there, I'm Joy and my channel is Hearts on the Mend, Healing from Toxic Relationships and Complex Trauma. This is video number 2 for me. As I said before, I'm living my worst nightmare. My former boyfriend of 9 years has officially ghosted me. He has found a new girlfriend, and our community of friends have labeled me and shunned me. So my heart and my life are shattered. Perhaps my story and my mistakes will be a help to you. And again, I am sorry. I'm sorry that you have found yourself maybe in a troubled relationship that you don't know what to do about, or you're becoming familiar with the terminology complex trauma, which was new to me, and as I have learned more about it, it really resonates with how things have gone in my life. Being in either situation, it's difficult and people don't often get you or understand what you're going through. I shared my relationship problems with too many people looking for solutions from outside. It takes two to make a war, and I should have searched my own heart for ways to create and make peace. So I encourage you to do that. Look into your heart to find ways to make peace with your partner. John 14:27 says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you." Which there are a lot of scriptures in the Bible about peace, and I should have been meditating on those, but most of the time I kind of leaned to "Get thee behind me, Satan." And I don't mean to make light of it. It was my perspective. There are many scriptures about peace, and I wasn't doing my best to really search for that. The people in my life grew weary of listening, and I don't blame them. As I've learned more about complex trauma, I understand how people perceive you as overly needy. But as people pulled away from my life, I began to isolate, and at that time, several years ago, I discovered the plethora of videos on YouTube about toxic relationships. At that time, that was really all that I could find. And I'm very grateful to the people that have put so much energy and their lives. They've devoted that to getting information out to people so that we understand, what's going on. But that leads to my mistake number 2, is I became obsessed with videos. I watched hundreds videos about toxic relationships. I watched the same ones over and over, about gaslighting and about trauma bonding and about breadcrumbing and all of the terminology. Everything I could find, I would watch, and I would watch it again, and felt understood and connected. But do you know what happens when you watch negative scenarios? And some speakers were kind of angry. I mean, it is they're topics that are not positive, but when you watch negative things and you feed yourself negative scenarios, you get angry and you get resentful. And you know what you get when you watch things? You get crazy. You get crazy. Yes, you do. Yeah. You know that those cartoon characters that are watching things over and over, you get crazy. And so the positive of learning things became negative energy in me. I lost my peace. I had no peace. And I lost any positive perspective about my relationship. And again, it takes two people to make a war, and I could have been the peacemaker and created a truce, but instead I battled, and after all, I can talk all about that vocabulary of toxic relationships, but I lost the war, and I lost my relationship, and my heart is shattered and my life is shattered. So I hope that in me sharing this, be mindful of what you're feeding your heart and soul, because you are what you eat.